Thank you all very much. Dean Norton, you're looking dashing. Faculty and staff, friends and family, and class of 2020, it's my privilege to be the commencement speaker for the Ole Miss School of Journalism and New Media graduation ceremony. How embarrassing for all of you. I know everyone's displaced now and not on campus in the Grove on a perfect spring afternoon, ready to hear a pretty mediocre speech. What I ask of you for the next 10 to 387 minutes, depending on how much time is necessary to laugh at all my amazing jokes and recover consciousness from the mind-blowing advice I'm going to bestow upon you, is to join me. Let's pretend we're together, we're among our classmates and family, the beautiful oak and magnolia trees in the Grove, and listen to words that will change your life forever. Let's also pretend I don't have this creepy mustache. Oh, it's really come in nice. Originally, while doing this commencement speech in person on the outset, I was going to ask you to go ahead and boo me, just in case the speech bombed. Just let me hear a really strong boo, boo. Let me have it, boos. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work as well as I deliver this over video on the internet. So my teenage kids advised me, instead of boos, let's just stick with some severe dislikes. Come on, dislike me. Let me have it. Send me those thumbs down emojis. Don't be shy. Bombard me with thumbs down emojis. Ooh, that really stings. And let me be very clear from the start. I know exactly why I was picked, because my dad, Peyton, and Eli were all unavailable. In fact, my own wife and kids were a little surprised when I told them about this event. My 17-year-old daughter, her response was, "Dad, did you even graduate anyway?" I was so offended. I said, "Yes, dear, in 4 years." I didn't feel there was a need to share with her the numerous semesters of summer school I took, nor the 6 hours of Spanish I got credit for in a mere 14 days down in Puebla, Mexico one summer. And I still remember all the Spanish I learned. Yo tengo muchos sacapuntas, which of course, Dean Norton knows means I own a lot of pencil sharpeners. It makes sense for me to be your commencement speaker. I mean, think of all the illustrious grads of this historic institution. William Faulkner, James Meredith, John Grisham, Jim Barksdale, former Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott, and yes, Koopy. I fit right in, don't you think? I mean, how many other Ole Miss commencement speakers can claim that during their freshman year, they lost a bet and had to run down sorority row naked on a Friday noon when all the girls were going to lunch? Yep, that was me. I remember calling my dad right before I did it and told him I'd lost a bet. I'm getting ready to head over and make that 150-yard sprint. If he had any advice, he said, "Sure, run fast." And I did. I remember how cold it was that day and how at the last second, my good friend let me put on my handy pair of 34 Hanes tighty whities. What a good guy. But enough about my illustrious career at Ole Miss. And of course, I'm constantly aware of how fortunate I am. I realized my freshman year, one evening after football practice, a few teammates and I headed downtown to the square for a few beers, and I had to drive home afterwards. For the record, that was a bad choice. And like my grandfather used to say, do as I do, do as I say, not as I do. In fact, that night I got pulled over. And right as the police officers walking over to my car to collect my license and insurance, the SAE house used to have a hearse, and it pulled up right in front of me, stopped, and six butts came out and mooned both the police officer and me. He went back to his car to go chase down that hearse, and I got away scot-free. Everyone needs a little luck. The truth is, I did graduate from this school in 1996. It was a close call, but I eked out the W right at the end. And so I have a message for the class of 2020. To the A and B students, congratulations on your academic success. And to the C students, you too can grow up and be a commencement speaker at Ole Miss. Of course, it helps if your last name is Manning. I should also mention that I minored in sociology. A lot of people don't know that. And let the record show that the Dean of Sociology department has been after me for years to give that commencement address for all the sociology grads. So Dean Norton, Dean Norton, wake up. Goodness. What took so long? I think actually the sociology guys are having a live speaker in May. It's being held in the parking lot of Sneed's Hardware on University Avenue. Only 9 people can attend. And I hear that Vanilla Ice is a speaker. So tune in for that. All kidding aside, I'm really honored to be back at Ole Miss. Look at it. It's so beautiful. I mean, look around. This place means so much to me and my family. It holds so many memories for me, most good, some not so good, but all meaningful in deep personal ways. It was here in Oxford I grew from a boy into a man ready to live life on his own terms. It was here that I was taught that the key to success is not necessarily knowing the right answers, but asking the right questions. It was here that I met people who not only challenged me, but changed me. People that did more than just cross my path. They changed my direction. And many of them have remained lifelong friends. And yes, it was here in the fall of 1992 that I learned my football days would come to an end. That day comes for every player who's ever played the game, but it came early for me, and it wasn't easy. I was 18 years old when I learned that I had spinal stenosis and would never play another down of football for Ole Miss. It was one of the more painful days of my life. It meant the end of hanging with the guys in the locker room, the end of dreams, catching a touchdown pass in the corner of Vaught Hemingway, the end of my childhood dreams. But in reality, it was the beginning of a life that I could have never imagined. In sports, as in life, the question isn't if adversity will come, but when. And the challenge is not to avoid it, but to embrace it, overcome it, and turn it into your advantage. You are all being tested right now. How are you responding? Put down that gallon of Cookie Tuesday ice cream and maybe turn off Tiger King and use this time wisely. And so it was here at Ole Miss that I began learning lessons that would shape my future. There's an old saying that I love. Good judgment comes from experience, which comes from bad judgment. At Ole Miss, I learned that today's obstacle is tomorrow's opportunity. Now, let me be real clear on how I ended up a journalism major. I got into it for all the right reasons, mainly because I took one semester of accounting as a business major. And I said to myself after that, if I keep doing this, I am going to fail out of school. So just like that, I became a broadcast journalism major, and I liked it. There's no homework, there are no tests. There's deadlines to meet and stories to cover. I could do that. I wasn't very good at groundbreaking, earth-shattering news, though. You might call me a little more the master of the obvious. I once did a story about a stop sign, a new stop sign in Oxford, and people kept running the stop sign. Amazing. And I had video to prove it. They thought I was going to be the next Ted Koppel, not just because I had amazing hair in college, but those forays into media work would pay off for me later. Some of you may have seen me host the Manning Hour on Fox before NFL games on Sunday. If you haven't seen the Manning Hour, it's because it's only 2 minutes long. It's a funny segment where I interview NFL stars like Drew Brees, my neighbor, and ask him why he hadn't ever invited me over to his house. I've wrestled with Rob Gronkowski. I've got a couple's manicure and pedicure with Cam Newton. I even got my nose pierced with Alvin Kamara. It's tough work. Even as a broadcast journalism major, media has always been a side job for me. Maybe I'm not good enough to do it full time. I kind of always treat it like dessert. Who wants to eat dessert at every single meal? It might not be so enjoyable. I've always done media to try to make people laugh and enjoy themselves. There isn't a ton of that left in media these days. The education I received at this school has served me well in business. I'm very confident that the ability to be on camera and act completely natural, or get in front of a microphone, or have the ability to write how you really feel and make the reader want more is equally valuable in the field of journalism as it is in the School of Business. I've worked for an investment banking firm. I work for a private equity real estate firm now, and I lean on the skills I learned from journalism school more than anything. So be flexible and be free to follow your dreams wherever they may lead you. At Ole Miss, I learned that success is not the key to being happy, but being happy is the key to success. Or to put it more directly to you, class of 2020 in this case, do what you love to do. Life is too short for anything else. In my career, I've met countless people who are really smart and talented and ambitious, charismatic, driven, and stuck in jobs they absolutely hated. They took jobs because they liked the title or the money, but they ended up miserable. And no amount of money is worth that. Here's some advice for you as you enter the marketplace. No job is perfectly safe, and not every job is a fit for you. So if you're going to spend your life working at a job, make sure it's one that you actually enjoy. The most you'll ever get out of your life is what you ask for. So if you ask for mediocrity or a miserable job, and that's what you're going to get. Find something that you love to do and find a way to make it your job. It will make all the difference for you as long as you work hard. It takes hard work. And finally, at Ole Miss, I learned it's amazing how much you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. Class of 2020, we live in a self-absorbed era. More and more we're told life is about me. It's about what I want. What am I doing? The perfect symbol of this era is the selfie. We can't wait to take pictures of ourselves so that everyone can look at us on social media. I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. That may be the way this era works, but it's not the way the world works, and it's not the way the marketplace works. One of the great blessings of my life is to be the son of Archie and Olivia Manning. People ask me all the time, are they as wonderful in real life as they seem? And I always answer honestly, no. My parents are wonderful, they're grounded people, and they raised us right. And they taught us from a very early age that life is a team sport. We speak a lot in football terms in our house, so I'll keep that theme. No one scores a touchdown by himself. It happens when coaches call the right play and the teammates block for him. So as you enter the workforce, put down the Instagrams and the selfies and the TikTok and pick up some mentors you can learn from. Set aside your personal ambitions and build relationships with people on your team. After all, life is a team sport, and you can't succeed unless the people around you succeed as well. And in the words of comedian Bob Einstein, don't ever get too big to use your friends. And just remember, there's no telling on how great all of you will become. If a goofball like me make it, you're going to be okay. Congratulations, good luck, God bless, and thank you.